Yo, what's up guys, Shujinkydink here, and welcome to a video all about my MK11 roster. I found this little thing online that Hater actually linked to me. Shouts to you, Hater, in our Bonehawk Discord. By the way, you can join the Discord for just $1 a month. Links in the description below. You should do it. Anyway, so I thought that I would make my own little roster here. Looks like they kind of have the pre-filled. The really bottom one you can't really see, but it's Garrus. And you have Raiden, Scarlet, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Baraka, Sonya, Cabal, Kano, and D'Vorah. So I thought it'd be fun if I kind of just went through and completed this with like my thoughts on who should be in there. All of these have drop-down boxes, which is kind of cool. So you can just kind of choose from like any character that was like ever created in the Mortal Kombat lore. So I thought that would be kind of neat. So yeah, I don't know. Let's get into it. So you'll see here I added Kitana and Liu Kang because even though they haven't been like officially announced, I'm pretty sure that they'll be in the game. They were kind of in like a gameplay trailer. Kung Lao I didn't add yet. Maybe I will, because he was shown in the gameplay trailer, but he wasn't, you know, it hasn't been confirmed that he's actually playable, so that's one thing to keep in mind. Alright, so my second row that I've gone with here is kind of like a fan favorite kind of thing. Cassie Cage has pretty much already been confirmed. I think there was actually a screenshot of her. And then I have Fujin. I'm going from the bottom up, by the way, so I'm going like one layer at a time. So then we got like Fujin, who everybody wanted in like the last 2 MK games, and they just like snubbed him for some reason. So apparently he's here. Then we got Noob Saibot as well. I'll say case. So I'm just going. Sorry, I'm skipping some. So we got Cassie Cage, Fujin, Baraka, who's already in, Sonya Blade, who's already in, then Noob Saibot, and then Frost. A lot of people have been talking about Frost, and I think that she'll make it in on like, you know, fan speculation and like want alone, because she's actually a pretty cool character. And I think there's lots of, watching Sub-Zero, there's lots of stuff that he's like, you know, classic stuff that he's missing that I think maybe they'll give it to Frost. I don't know, it'll be interesting. So that's just my hypothesis on the idea. Okay, so moving up to our next bracket, I have Quan Chi. Obviously I'm a little biased here, but this is my thing for Quan Chi. So Quan Chi has had just such a huge impact on the storyline from MKX to MK9, and how it seems like they're not really going past that too much. It really would surprise me if Quan Chi didn't make it in, because he's just, yeah, like I said, he's had such a huge part manipulating the entire MK9 storyline, manipulating the majority of the MKX storyline, that if they're going back in time to travel, he has to be in the story mode in some part. It'd actually be interesting to see a headless Quan Chi talk to like MK9 Quan Chi and them talk it out. However, I do think that, as I've said before, Quan Chi died on purpose to be brought back by Shang Tsung, or that was Shang Tsung, sorry, that was beheaded disguised as Quan Chi, and that Quan Chi brought the dead Shang Tsung back to the Netherrealm to be a revenant, and now works for him. Maybe Shang Tsung not knowing that's how it worked or whatever, but either way, that's my theory. Then we go on to who was it? I can't remember. Oh, Havoc. Havoc actually had a big part in that in the comics. He was pretty he did some pretty crazy shit. So and he's a favorite. He's one of the few 3D characters from like the Armageddon and Deception storyline that actually people liked and wanted to see again. So, and he has like huge potential. The things that he could do back in those days, and now with what we have available now, would be really cool to see that moveset. We got Kano, we got Cabal, they're already confirmed. Then we got Reiko, of course, the Reiko Accords. Again, in the comics, Reiko was like a huge thing, like he was a big deal. The fact that he wasn't really shown at all in the MKX story mode was really like kind of disappointing, because they mention him a lot and they go into it a lot in the comics. So obviously he has a big part in the storyline, and from what I'm told, the story mode is written by the same guy that did the comics. So it would really, you know, not really make a lot of sense for Reiko to not be in. And then of course we have Shang Tsung, who was a huge part in MK9, like one of the main villains kind of deal, and you know, kind of ties into my theory with Quan Chi at the end. So that's kind of like why I picked this kind of lineup. So this kind of makes me sad because I'm kind of running out of room here, but we have Aaron Black, who has actually already been leaked. We all kind of knew he would return, which he should. He's a fan favorite character. He's a fucking badass. I think that maybe in the storyline, maybe you get to see a little bit of him before he like was sold to Outworld. Like maybe instead of encountering him as he is now, you'll encounter him back when he lived in Earthrealm and what he was doing back then, to see kind of where he got to where he is now. Devora was already confirmed. Then we got Johnny Cage, huge fan favorite character. Don't see him ever kind of being, you know, not included in the game. And then I had Human Smoke, who was, I don't know, when I see Twitter and Reddit and all that stuff, a lot of people like Human Smoke, so it would make sense for him to come back. You know, especially since the timeline of MK9, he was a human before he got turned into the robot. So maybe they kind of go back and they do it in a way. I know that, I'm not exactly sure, you know, Smoke turned into an Enra or whatever, but maybe they have Cyborg Smoke talking to Human Smoke and them just being like, how the hell did we get here? I think that would be kind of neat. I would really enjoy that personally as a fan of the franchise. And then the last two here is Li Mei and Chameleon. So, I mean, those are just two that I would like to see. No real reason. I mean, Li Mei was kind of part of the, you know, she obviously is in the timeline again, which is cool. So maybe they could go back in time and see more of her. The whole timeline thing just brings back so many characters. The only thing that I think about is like the 3D characters, because they haven't really mentioned a lot of them. Like they kind of just like left that in the past, like Taven. Dagon actually was mentioned, I believe, in was it Kano's ending in MKX? One of the endings. I think he was killed. Maybe it's no, it was Kenshi. I don't know. Leave it. You guys know. Leave it in the comments below. So I think like Li Mei being one of the few characters that actually was included in the story mode numerous times could maybe make her like a contender for like maybe she had part of what happened in between. They go back in time. And Chameleon, he's just Chameleon. People love this character. I really don't know why they didn't bring him back before. You know, he could be like the new Reptile of the game because he can go like invisible and stuff, which is weird that like Reptile was able to do that. But it's his Terran thing, I guess. So maybe he's been like invisible the entire time, and like he's just been like watching. You know, he could have just been like jerking off in the background for all that we know. But you know, he's just been like watching all the events, and then finally he's like, ah, it's me, ah, you know, out to get you. So I don't know. That's yeah. And then Shao Kahn is a pre-order bonus. I didn't forget him. I just didn't want to include him because I need an extra spot. But yeah, I just thought this was a real fun thing to do. I really like the way that this worked. If you want to play around with it yourself, links in the description down below. Go check it out. And if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like because it really helps me out. And subscribe because we make new videos every single day. #Bonehawks, all that stuff. And we'll see all you guys in the next video.